Ladies and gentlemen, 40 years since Band-Aid was first released, and it was thanks to this man and his friend Midge Ure that the magic was made. Bob Geldof, how are you this morning, darling?
Exhausted.
Oh, you
finally there.
Surprised. You finally got to this moment. How has it been 40 years since Band-Aid? I remember this stuff better than I remember stuff last year, to be honest with you, Bob.
Yes.
I remember, watching the news and seeing the shocking, devastating scenes of what was happening in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
And then I remember you. And I sort of guess I came to you more as Bob there before I came to your music, actually.
Thanks very much, Zoe. That really helped my career.
I discovered the Boomtown Rats later, don't worry, Bob. I mean, there must be quite incredible memories for you going back those 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, especially when I see the film that Jill Sinclair has made of all the outtakes. I never thought about it, but there's these scruffy, spotty kids who go on to take over the world, basically, all slouching up. And, of course, a few months later I did...
Who's ringing? Is that me or is that Bob? Is that... No? Is your phone ringing?
Oh, is it?
No, I don't know. It's not mine. It's you. It's probably Simon Le Bon or something.
Yeah, it is.
Don't forget to plug this.
There we go.
It was Bob's phone, yeah.
No, it was Trump. He wants to speak to me about Africa.
Don't even start. Where were we? So you were talking about who you were.
On the film, which is on iPlayer tonight and released on telly on Thursday evening on BBC4. I mean, when she showed it to me, and these two doofuses, Midge and myself, sort of going, where are we going next? And then all these kids basically just out of school, spotty, sort of wandering up the street. And a few months later, I'm in America standing in front of Mount Rushmore of our culture. Willie Nelson, Ray Charles, Smokey Robinson, Dylan, Paul Simon, and they're so professional, and there's music sheets. And I look at this film and our lot, picking their noses. And when one of them said, "I'm not singing that, what did you go first?" Oh, it was school.
Total school.
But these are global megastars,
But I guess that's the thing, isn't it? No one knew really what was happening. You just knew, Simon was saying he remembers, Simon Le Bon was just saying he remembers singing all of the song and then hearing Bono and thinking,
then we thought we'll just choose one line, Simon.
He's not taking it badly, to be honest with you. So Band-Aid really celebrates and demonstrates, because it was the first of its kind, coming together to make change and make a difference.
I think for me, and this, sorry for going all serious now, I think was the promise of rock and roll fulfilled. What it had always meant to me, as a kid, not a great time in Ireland, and suddenly these boys and girls of 19 and 20 were singing about change, the possibility of change, the inevitability of change, and that the platform they were using, the language they used, the rhetoric of rock and roll was the platform that could actually initiate change. So, and they sort of lowered down this golden thread of possibility to the purple ether of rock and roll, and I clung on to it. And when the Rats happened at that key time of 76, 77, all of us lot of that generation, the Pistols, the Clash, the Jam, the Ramones, the Talking Heads, it was about that. It was about change. So that's all I've ever understood rock and roll to be about. And this was to be, as far as me and Midge was concerned, an instrument of change. We weren't really bothered about the quality of the song as such, that would it work as a thing. And on that first morning at Simon Bates on the radio show, I said, it doesn't matter if you don't like George Michael. It doesn't matter if you don't like George, Boy George or whatever. I said, just buy it, because things will change. And it has, I read in an American paper last week, the most impactful song ever in rock and roll, because what it did is it suddenly the whole world copied this. That led to Live Aid, that led to billions of people, and politics had to go with it. So by the time we get to Live 8, we are now addressing the global structures of the economy and politics to put an end finally to the agony of poverty. It hasn't.
Yeah.
So that's why we're back here again 40 years with the collection of all those artists over the years, and on the physical record, including Freddie, including Elton, including all those, but also 1D, also, you know, Sam Smith, also Sting, also Bono, also Sinead, Chris Martin. And it's such an amazing record. It is the history, it is the arc of British rock and roll over 40 years on one 3.5-minute track. And David Bowie introduces us and then wishes us all a happy Christmas at the end. Perfect!
It's perfect.
Shut up!
Shall we hear it, Bob?
Yes.
Here it is. This
For
is
the first time.
our first time anywhere in the world. This is Band Aid 40, and it's beautiful.
It's Christmas time.